name is Andrew Goodman. I'm the General Manager of Intelligent Monitoring for Telstra Business. We had decided that we wanted to get into the intelligent monitoring space. I was doing a lot of discussions with companies in Silicon Valley that are really on the cutting edge of technology. And they said, well, we actually have a guy down in Australia that we do some business with, Daz, at AFN. We met not a few days later. And in the first few minutes, we realized that, this guy understood not just what we were trying to do, but deep levels of the technology, and also had a tremendous passion.
I'm Darren Ruger, CEO of AFN Solutions. When I grew up, I watched all the Star Treks and I watched all the Star Wars movies. And it was always, how cool would it be if that's how life was? The technology to save lives, or to derive energy from the sun. Everything we've done, from starting working with the US government and the UK government back in the late 90s to today, has all been about how do we make people's lives better from what we do. Facial recognition is becoming a far bigger thing. We are absolutely just learning the lessons of our own technology.
I first heard about AFN a couple of years ago. We were thinking about what the next big evolution in business productivity was going to be. I think what really excited us about AFN and about Daz was that ability to think not just one step ahead, but to be 3, 4, 5 steps and branching into a whole bunch of different ideas.
The more we started to understand the analytics coming out of retail, the more we understood the use cases for the analytics. It's no longer about the analytics, it's all use case now. Facial recognition, what's the use case? Time and attendance, training packages, upskilling, being able to redeploy some of the existing surveillance platform for facial recognition has helped be able to monitor that. An IP megapixel camera, is worth less than an expensive lunch out with the family. Servers are as small as cell phones. And we focus in edge computing, Hive architecture for load balancing of technology. These things were pipe dreams 20 years ago when we started the journey, and now this is just the world we live in. All of this technology that we talk about actually exists everywhere we look. The Smart City play is a really easy one to understand for us. We've taken all the knowledge that we can obtain and we've spread it across a municipality. And now we can control lights and parking, know how full a trash can is, how much your energy utilisation is, how much solar energy you're deriving, what your water flow looks like, what your air quality looks like, even things like being able to deploy the trash company to not pick up 500 bins because only 200 of them are full. I challenge councils all the time. Do you know how many lights are on or off in your municipality? How many are damaged? Do you know how full the trash cans are when they get picked up every week? For a long, long time, councils have thought that the way to deal with parking is just pay parking. We're having enormous success for smart parking. We can put sensors in the ground, they're not cabled, so the cost of deployment's really, really low. Just the knowledge that this car park is full can generate a response automatically back. No human interaction required to change potentially digital signage somewhere up the road to guide the constituents for the next 3 bays. Well, we're actually rolling a couple of large municipalities out right now. We've nearly completed the first one. We're in negotiations with another dozen or so. And this has been the true power of Telstra for us.
What we're really about is enabling people to behave more effectively or to learn from their behaviour. One of the first versions of this that I saw was in fact something Telstra had started to do internally. And what we realised was that it needed really specialist expertise. If we were doing it on the side, we were unlikely to do it nearly as well as people who had started out with this as their core DNA.
I can't even imagine where we'll be in 5 years. I almost can't imagine where we'll be in 2. The journey we've come on in the last 3 years of learning things that the technology has taught us how little we know about the technology. So at the end of the day, the only limit is our own imaginations.